Welcome to Java Programming. I'm Ramya Devi, working as Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department. In this video, we're going to discuss the characteristics of Object-Oriented Programming, OOP. It includes object, class, data abstraction, data encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. Object represents the real-world entities. It is a basic unit of OOP. In Java, many objects can be created and they used to interact with each other through methods. Object consists of three main things. One is state, behavior, and identity. Attributes are represented by state and it reflects the properties of an object. Behaviors are represented by methods and it reflects the response of an object with other object. Identity gives a unique name to an object and it enables one object to interact with other objects. Example of an object is a dog. Why? Because a dog has properties like color, name, breed, and behaviors like barking, eating, etc. All the real-world entities can be represented as object. Example, bench, fan, pen, bike, even a keyboard. Why? Because a keyboard contains properties like number of keys, color, and behaviors like typing. So even a keyboard can be represented as an object in Java. There are 5 ways to create objects in Java by using new keyword, new instance method, clone method, deserialization, and factory method. The basic thing is most commonly we'll be using new keyword. That's why I've given a syntax for creating an object using new keyword. So the class name, space object name for creating an object, and the second line it allocates the memory for the object with the help of a new keyword. These two statements can be combined as a single statement, which I've given as an example. So in this example, student is a class name, student1 is an object name. With the help of a new keyword, we have allocated a memory by calling a constructor that is student. So student is a constructor which is defined in a student class. If there is no such constructor, JVM implicitly will be passing a default constructor. Default constructor is nothing but a constructor without any arguments. Class is a group of objects which have common properties. It is actually a template, blueprint, or prototype for creating objects in Java. It is logical entity and cannot be physical. Before creating objects, we must define the class. So a class contains set of attributes, methods, constructors, nested classes, and nested interfaces. Class in Java determines how an object will behave and what the object will contain. So the syntax for creating an object by specifying a modifier. There are 4 modifiers in Java, which includes public, private, protected, and default, followed by a class keyword with the class name. Always the class name must begin with a capital letter. It includes data members, constructors, methods, nested classes, and nested interface. Abstraction. So abstraction is a property of hiding the details of implementation. That is, only the essential details are displayed to the user. Non-essential details are not displayed. Example, a car will be viewed as a car rather than its individual components. So data abstraction will be defined as a process of identifying only the required characteristics of an object, ignoring the irrelevant details. Say for example, user debiting money from ATM. He'll be using the card, but he'll not aware of how transactions actually happen and money is getting debited. So this is also an example for abstraction. Encapsulation. Encapsulation is defined as wrapping up of data and methods under a single unit. So it's a mechanism that binds together code and data it manipulates. Encapsulation, it also provides security, that is data hiding. Why? Because the variables of a class is hidden from any other class and can be accessed only through the methods of own class in which they are declared. So encapsulation can be achieved by declaring all the variables in the class as private and writing public methods to set and get the values of variables. So encapsulation usually achieved with the help of a class. Class contains both data members, that is instance variables and methods. Instance variables will be declared in the private section and methods will be declared in the public section. So the methods will be used to set and get the values of the instance variables. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is the ability of a method to do different tasks. So polymorphism is derived from two Greek words, poly and morph. Poly means many, morphs means forms. So polymorphism means more forms, many forms, taking more than one form. So it allows us to perform a single action in different ways. Say for example, a user wants to communicate with the help of a smartphone. He can use a call, text message, picture message, or even he can use a mail to send the information. So the goal is common, that is communication, but the approach is different based upon the user's perception. So it is an example for polymorphism. There are two types of polymorphism in Java. Compile time polymorphism, that is overloading. Runtime polymorphism, overriding. So this is an example where it calculates the area of shapes, circle, triangle and rectangle. If I'm passing r radius to area, it calculates the area of a circle. If I'm passing height and breadth to area, it calculates the area of a triangle. If I'm passing length and breadth, it calculates the area of a rectangle. So based upon the arguments passed, it does different tasks. This is another example where speak is a method. When called upon different animals, cat, dog, cow, it makes different sounds. Okay, this is also an example for overriding. Okay, based upon the objects, a dog, a cat, a cow, it produces different sounds. Inheritance. Inheritance can be defined as process of acquiring the properties from one class to another. So with the use of inheritance, the information is made manageable in a hierarchical order. So the class which inherits the properties of other is known as subclass, and the class whose properties are inherited is known as superclass. So we'll be using the keyword extends in order to inherit the properties of one class to another class. So this is the syntax. First one is the class keyword, subclass, the keyword extends, and the superclass. Even the class contains attributes, methods, nested classes, and even nested interfaces. This is an example where a son derives the properties from his dad and his mom. The real-time example for inheritance. There are 5 types of inheritance in Java: single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. Advantages of inheritance. It includes increased productivity with the help of reusability. I don't want to rewrite the code again and again. I can able to make use of the code which is already written in the base class. And reduced maintenance. Why? Because the code is written only in the base class. If I'm changing that, it gets reflected to my derived classes also. And the standardization, the hierarchical order I can able to use. The major drawback of inheritance is adder overhead. Why? Because a user must know changes in methods of base class before using the derived class objects. Why? Because the derived class objects may not require all the functionalities of a base class. So if it implements all the methods of a base class, it has increased overhead. Why? Because the amount of memory required for the execution of a program will in turn increases. The references are taken from the books: Complete Reference Java 2, Code Java 2, Programming with Java, Java, how to program. Thank you.